Welcome back, everybody, to What's Up, Bolts? I'm Fernando Ramirez, that sunglass donning, hat wearing, son of a gun. Mo's drinking is Dan and Daygo.
Woo!
Dan, obviously, big game this weekend for the Chargers. They will be facing the NFC North leading Detroit Lions. I know a lot of people are like, whoa, like, really? They're leading they're leading the division. They're not the same old Lions. Well, they've shown tendencies here and there, but should be an interesting matchup. Everybody has picked the Lions. They've kind of been the darlings since Motor City Dan Campbell took over as the head coach a couple of years ago. They're tough. They're gritty. They're led by quarterback Jared Goff. But Dan, how are you doing?
I'm always excellent. For now, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent. So there's no other way to describe it. Another week, another any day above ground for now is an excellent day. I'm not worried about nothing. How have you been, my good sir? Let me throw it back to you.
I am good. COMPAS came back. Make sure you guys check that out. You really you put it on Hilberto, didn't you? I think you kind of dunked on him.
I had totally told him. I had texted him. You know what's the worst part? I gave him a warning shot in a text. I said, you are not ready for me this week. I am fired up. I'm like, of course we take the week off when all my locks started hitting. And all of a sudden, no one wanted to talk to your boy, Dan and Daygo. But God forbid I gave one thing wrong. And here we go. Everybody piling on me in the chat. Everybody piling on me in the show. Well, you know what? I'm not worried for. I'm made of Teflon. Everything just bounces off, my guy.
Yeah, no, it's honestly well, I can't say anything about that, but just an interesting week, obviously. Just because this is gonna be the first test between the Chargers and a team. Obviously they played the Jets. It was a good matchup, but here's gonna be a real test. I mean, the Detroit Lions, whoa. The Detroit Lions are they're a good football team. There's just one thing though. A little bit I have against the Detroit Lions, and I know everybody's really excited about them and they're fun. They kind of haven't played anybody, Dan. They look, actually they beat the Chiefs night one, but that no Travis Kelce. They lost to the Seahawks at home in overtime.
That was a shootout, yeah.
They've beaten the Falcons, the Packers, the Panthers, the Bucks, and the Raiders, and they got crushed by the Ravens 38-6. So this is going to be an interesting game, Dan, just because I know the narrative is, oh, wow, look out, here come the Lions, but they haven't really faced any competition except for, I mean, week one, I think everybody kind of throws away week one just because week one, I think everybody's still kind of getting adjusted. Obviously, the Chargers are one of those teams that sits everybody during the off season or during the preseason. So everybody's kind of still getting their legs underneath them. But what do you think, Dan? I mean, I know you're one of those that's very high on Detroit, but what do you make of this?
I think they showed you who they are against Seattle. I think Seattle still has a very good team. Again, limited at the quarterback position, but they have a solid defense. They put up points. I just think the Raven game was more than anything an anomaly. And again, I would say this. I understand people say they haven't played anybody and stuff like that. They've at least taken care of business when they needed to. Just like the Chargers in these past two games, they've taken care of business. But you're going to find out real quick what these teams are made of on Sunday, I think. And, I like the Lions. I think they're trying to get back to a gritty, physical type of football days of yesteryear. And I think that's going to win. I think, you can't substitute physicality with anything else. And I think a lot of people just don't understand that now. Just because they see random numbers on a piece of paper, they think that's going to do something. But I'm not worried about the Lions. I still think they're going to win the division. I think that was one of my predictions. Early in August when we did the preview and stuff like that. So I think they're for sure going to make the playoffs, obviously barring some meteor hitting them or them self-imploding. So I think the Lions are going to be just fine. I think that Ravens game was more than anything an anomaly. I don't think it was the main. I don't think it like is a direct reflection off of them.
We'll see, but the one thing about them is their defense kind of stingy. They're top 5 in the league. They're only allowing 296 yards, 220 passing, 76.8 rushing, and they're only allowing 20.6 points to be scored a game. But this seems like it might be kind of a Justin Herbert kind of show, just because the Chargers haven't been running the football well. There's been kind of a lot of questions about why Joshua Kelly, I think, has only gotten 9 carries the last 2 games, and everybody's kind of like, we get Austin's in there, but I've mentioned this for weeks now that when Austin came back, they should do a 2-back system, kind of get a little bit of both of them going, try and do more with both. Obviously the Chargers haven't done that, but Brandon Staley was asked about that today, or on Wednesday, and this is what Brandon Staley had to say about the usage between both running backs.
Those are the 2 running backs that we're going to play, and I think that, depending on Austin and how much he's doing on first and second down, we may give him a blow on third down, but I mean, Austin's our lead back and Josh is our number 2 back, and I think they've both proven, in my 3 years here that they can be, really strong NFL players. I think Austin has looked a lot more like himself, after having more practice time. And, I think he's played better and better, more like, that we're used to seeing. And I think Josh has been consistent the whole way. And that's what we need from those guys, is just to be who they are. We don't need them to be anything else, because they're both good players for us. And it's been good to have Austin back, though, and practicing and, feeling like himself, because, when he's playing at his level, that really changes, how we play on offense.
So, Dan, what do you make of what do you think about kind of the running back situation there?
We've been saying this for weeks now. The whole, maybe we'll give him a blow on third down. I don't understand it. That's when I want Austin Ekeler on the field on third down, especially if it's passing. I don't understand why they're not trying to rotate. Like he says, those are the 2 backs we have. Those 2 backs are going to play. Then why hasn't Joshua Kelly played more? That's why I don't understand. We've talked about this since last year. You draft these guys. Everybody holds these draft picks as, the end all be all. We don't get rid of them. We keep them on the team, yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, why aren't these guys getting reps then to find out if they're going to be there for the future or if they're not what you thought they were? And then it's time to take the L and move on. I don't understand, again, why you want to run Austin Ekeler into the ground. I don't get it. I personally, again, I think he's a very good player. I think he's at his best when he has someone complimenting him and he's a lot fresher. It's just like Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. Like, you can run those 2 guys into the ground. They're not going to be as productive. They're going to be gassed in the fourth quarter and stuff like that. But when you get guys like Tuli and other guys stepping up, they're going to be a lot fresher. And you have different things you can do. It gives you that flexibility.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
No.
I was going to say, I still don't understand why on third down we're not seeing Josh Kelly in and Ekeler moved to slot or somewhere else, especially being down 2 wide receivers to IR. So I just don't understand why we're not splitting a little more time, especially when Joshua Kelly has shown he's been productive and reliable. Like, that's my biggest thing. I don't understand why you feature him in the first half, and then in the second half, it's like he sent you a naughty text that you're pissed about, and you just keep him on the sideline the whole time. I don't understand it.
You know what? I started in the wrong direction. I kind of wanted to talk more about the defense first, so we'll table this and come back to it in a little bit. I want to talk about we'll circle back to it. I want to talk more about the defense, though. Dan, we've seen the way the defense has played the last 2 games. They have 9 sacks in the last 2 games. They've gotten multiple turnovers. They're one of the top teams in turnovers and in sacks. That's good and all. But this is going to be your first test to see if really they flip the switch and they're a different defense. Why? They're facing Jared Goff this weekend. Now, I'm still not a huge believer in Jared Goff. I'm still not like, oh, he's a top 5, top 6 quarterback.
No.
I think he's serviceable. I think he's good, but I don't think he's for the position that he was drafted, he hasn't panned out to be what they thought he was going to be.
There's no way McVay doesn't see his picture sometimes. somewhere, and he's not like, I should kill this man.
Well, no, it should
Cost
be
me-
Jeff.
cost me-
Jeff Fisher was the one that
Cost me a Super Bowl. No, but I'm
Jeff
just saying he had him. He inherited
Well,
him.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
Jeff
yeah,
Fisher.
yeah.
Jeff Fisher also, yeah.
No, but I mean, and I remember when he got drafted, people swore up and down to me. I ain't gonna name no names, but people swore up and down that Jared Goff is the guy, gonna be the guy that leads LA to a Super Bowl, and he's gonna win multiple ones because they have a vision over there. They know exactly what it takes to have a high quality quarterback. I'm like, yeah, okay. Oh well, whatever. This isn't about trashing Jared Goff. But I just think he is what he is. Like he's
you know what
in
you're
the middle
getting,
of the pack. Well, a little bit. I guess like he's not excellent. He's about average to above average. Like right around. No, just right around average, leaning towards above average.
Yeah.
He's done some good stuff. He's done some bad stuff. But that's going to be the key this weekend. They have Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I told you a couple of weeks ago. I gave you the bad news about, or it was last week, that when they drafted Trey McKitty, the Chargers, Amon-Ra St. Brown was sitting right there.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started.
Amon-Ra St. Brown obviously is a huge talent. That's going to be another thing. They have Sam Laporta. They have him. They have Gibbs. Guys are coming back. They're getting healthy right now. They're coming off their bye week. So this is going to be a good test for the Chargers secondary, who I still am not a firm believer in. I know everybody I think Asante Samuel Jr. has talent. Michael Davis to me is still a little bit iffy. Like, yeah, he did some good things on Monday, but you know who's across, like, you know who he's playing against. Like, it's Zach Wilson. Like, a guy like Jared Goff will test him. I'm sure he'll test him early. I think they let him press a little bit more this week, but I'm still surprised that they haven't really pressed him a lot more. I'm flabbergasted by it, to be honest, that they're not letting him do a little bit more of what he's comfortable of. Like, because there's times like you saw, like there was a play where Zach Wilson he changed the play, he hiked it, turns to his right and throws a pass out to him. Michael Davis was actually able to bring him down rather quickly, but it was still a 5-6 yard gain. It's like basically a run. Yeah. So but you know what? Brandon Staley actually got to practice against Jared Goff back in 2020 when he was a member of the Rams. So let's see what Brandon had to say about Jared Goff and what kind of a player they're going to be facing this weekend.
Well, I've got a ton of respect for Jared. I'm close with him. He's been an outstanding quarterback since he came into the league. You know, certainly that run that he went on with the Rams, Super Bowl, playoffs every year. I mean, one of the top passers in the NFL over the course of 4 years. And, you know, now what he's been able to do in Detroit for that team, you know, where they started in Detroit to now, he's been a winner. That's what happened at Cal when he was in college. You know, he was on a team that wasn't very good in college, and then they became a really, really good football team. So I have a ton of respect for him, and he's playing at a really high level. And, you know, he has our full respect.
What are you specifically doing that's making him so effective in this offense that he's in?
Yeah, Lindsay, I think they're really balanced. I think there's always the threat of the run game on every snap. They've got different types of running backs. You know, they've really, I think, upgraded that position, and Montgomery and Gibbs are playing at a really high level. They play with a lot of different tight end groupings. They have receivers that really fit their style of play. And so, you know, you have the threat of the run, and then there's the play action, the keeper game, and then they do a really good job in the passing game of getting the ball out on time and really forcing you to defend everybody on the field. You know, they have a lot of different guys who touch the football. So Jared has a lot of experience playing that way. That's how he played, you know, with Sean, with the Rams. And that's how he's playing now. He's playing really smart football, and he's getting the ball to his playmakers.
And Dan, they really do have a lot of playmakers on this team. I mean, Jamari Gibbs, 76 carries, 399, 2 touchdowns. David Montgomery should be playing in this game, Dan. He's had 389 yards, 6 touchdowns. So Gibbs is averaging 5.3 a carry. Montgomery's averaging 4.1. The Chargers have been a lot better this year.
4, damn.
Yeah, the Chargers have been a lot better this year against the run, but this is going to be one of their bigger tests. And then you look down, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 57 catches, 665 yards and 3 touchdowns. Sam Laporta, tight end, another dangerous weapon, 59 catches, 434, 4 touchdowns. Josh Reynolds, 22 catches, 397 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then obviously, I know he hasn't really done much, but Jamison Williams, former first-round pick, 6 catches, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. But that guy is very dangerous, and they need to be careful with him because he could essentially ruin the Chargers' day if they're not careful. But what do you make of what Brandon had to say?
I think, little, in my opinion, little overinflating Jared Goff. But I mean, you have to say those things because number one, he was on a team where he coached with him, and the other, you can't give any type of bulletin board material or anything like that for the game on Sunday. I think it's true what he says that, from where they started in Detroit to now, they look like a completely different team. That is totally accurate. I think hopefully for Detroit, they're changing the culture and they're finding their own identity with those grit hats and everything else. Hopefully they're finding their identity for themselves. I still don't think Jared Goff's the answer. I think they really need to think about a replacement really soon, just because obviously, what they pay quarterbacks today is highway robbery, but it is what it is. But he's accurate in the sense that, Jared Goff, you know what he's going to do. If you can avoid him making mistakes and turning the ball over, it's going to be solid. He's solid, for the most part. But in terms of now, can I get into what the defense should do or stuff like that? Or
yeah, no, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Because I think, in my opinion, this is the game where I would have Derwin in the box as a linebacker probably the whole game, and I would really test him to make Jared Goff beat us. I don't think, beat the Chargers. I don't think they should. I think what the Lions want to do first and foremost is establish the run, start gashing people, start getting physical, start gashing defenses, controlling the clock. Basically set up the play action, because that's where Jared Goff, I think, is his most effectiveness. I think when he was with the Rams, and I think now his highest percentage of completion and stuff like that is from the play action. He's one of those quarterbacks that needs that threat of the run. We've seen it before with him. So I think once you take away that threat and you make him just drop back, you're going to have a better time against him. So I think they're going to have to be very physical up front. I think Derwin should probably play in the box for most of the game, until it's obviously passing down situations or whatever else. But this is gonna be we've talked about already. This is gonna be a very interesting game. It's gonna be a very good test for this Chargers defense.
Well, and the other thing, Dan, that we've been noticing is that obviously the Chargers defense has really got it going with the pass rush. And Joey Bosa said after the Bears game, he said, "Look, I'm finally starting to get healthy. I feel good." And it's no coincidence that the Chargers had 8 sacks of Zach Wilson and everything that they've been doing. I mean, it's been a lot of positives. I mean, they really are they really have gotten after the quarterback. And in turn, what does that do? That helps your secondary. That's 100%. The thing about that's the thing about this defense, is that if the secondary is kind of a weak link in a sense, so if you have a weak link, what do you have to do? You have to do something to improve it. And I feel like that's where the Chargers have to live. That they need to be able to rush the quarterback. They need to be able to get after it. And you mentioned right now, you're like, hey, Derwin has to drop into the box, I think, to really help out. Well, I feel like that's going to be key, especially with having a Alohi Gilman back. I think that helps Derwin doing that. And I know, Dan, you're not the biggest Alohi fan, but I think in the last 2 games, I think he's actually done a lot for the team.
Little juice.
Yeah, no, and not just that, but you have a guy that understands what's going on back there. He's made plays in the first game. He had a couple of good tackles, a couple passes defended. There was one where he lodged the ball out of the defender's hands, and then Derwin caught it for an interception. And this last week, he got the ball out of Garrett Wilson's hands, and Derwin recovered it. And then he had a couple passes defended. But that's the thing, Dan. Even before he got injured and he was out with that with the heel, You remember he made the Vikings fumble like 2 or 3 times, and they
Yep.
called only one of them. But he's been doing that kind of consistently this year, where he's just ripping the ball out, and he's doing a good job. The only thing he needs to learn is the Peanut Tillman just punch out. If he learns that, he'll be the ultimate taker of the football. But let's go now to Brandon Staley and hear what he had to say about how important Alohi Gilman, the return of Alohi Gilman, has been for this defense.
Yeah, Fernando.
Oh, I recognize that voice.
He's a key for us because he's the quarterback back there. I think that he allows Derwin to play freer. He's back there. He's a difference maker, and more than just like his production on the field. It's just how he impacts the rest of the group. He's a commander back there. He can really see the game. I think you saw on that first third down, that pass breakup, just the disguise. And then, what he gives you is breaks on the ball. And hey, on that second possession, being able to get the football off of 17. He's a guy that has done that for us all season when he's been healthy. So we just got to keep him healthy. I'd be remiss, man. I had an adrenaline moment after the game. He got a game ball. I kind of missed it, but we got him a game ball post-game celebration. He was worthy of it. He played. I mean, he was lights out, in terms of getting the ball for us, the energy, the consistency and performance. And you guys have seen it. We've played better when he's out there. So he's just got to keep it going.
This is going to be a huge test for him this weekend too.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing. The pass rush. I mean, when you see the pass rush, like I said, with Joey and Tuli and those guys, like it's just been it's been something that I think the Chargers have been missing. And that's the thing. Like, and I remember one of the strongest seasons that the Chargers had. It was Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa, and God, what was his name?
There was a third guy.
McCain, Chris McCain. I think it was like there was one where I think it was Chris McCain, but he like all three of them started off the season. It was Chris. Chris McCain. I think he's like doing like boxing or something like that. Actually, no, he just got plea deal after alleged battery.
Oh,
okay.
Jeez.
But I remember that Chris McCain, Joey Bosa, and Melvin Ingram, like they made a good trio. I think at the beginning of the season, like Melvin Ingram had like 8.5 sacks, Joey 5.5, and this guy had like 4. Well, that's exactly what you're getting from these guys. I mean, I think Khalil Mack has 9, Tuli has 4, and Joey Bosa has 6.5. Damn, that's huge if they can continue doing this. They have 31 sacks on the season. They've just been all over the opposing quarterback, and that's what you've been hoping for. That's what you've been waiting for when it comes to this pass rush. But I know, Dan, that you pointed it out on Monday night that as soon as Joey got the sack, or no, it was two weekends ago, you pointed out that when Joey got the sack, he did the T for Tuli. Well, it's not for Tuli, it's for his culture. And this week, Tuli did the shrug when he sacked the guy. So this is what Tuli had to say. By the way, Tuli, what a great kid. He's only 21 years old, but he is hilarious. I'm going to show you a little bit of his funny bits, but here's Tuli on Joey Bosa and the celebration and just kind of how he's been integrated with those guys. But take a listen. At that Chicago game for him to just throw up the tee and do your celebration.
It was hilarious. I think I laughed all the way back to the bench just to start laughing like the whole time. And a bunch of my people hit me up like, ain't no way you got Joey Bosa throwing up the tee right now. So I think it was a good thing for me, but it's also a good thing from the community because like a guy like Joey Bosa doing it, like he has no ties to the culture, but I guess it's just him just showing his support. So I think it's pretty cool. And like I said, it was really funny.
Being with Joey and Khalil and 2 guys like that and everything, it seems like you guys are the 3. Well, it seems like you guys are very, very close.
Yeah, I think I've adapted very well. I think as the season's going on, I think we're getting more and more comfortable with each other. I think I'm starting to understand what type of players they are on the field, like what kind of things they want and stuff like that. So, I think we should keep building, getting better.
What are the biggest things you've learned from them?
I probably say the same thing all the time, but I think with Joey, just a big routine, keeping the same routine, being consistent with that routine, and like K-Mac is just like being gritty. I think like just working hard no matter what the circumstance is, and he's like the definition of hard work. Like today in the weight room, he's working hard, and like that. What motivates me because he's been doing it for a long time. So yeah.
Dan, just for him, I mean, to be around both of those guys, just
Yeah.
what do you think it means for him, especially because he's only 20, I've just turned 21, and he's basically playing like he's been a big reason, Dan, of why they've been able to open up holes and
100%.
why they've been able to like they're like against Tennessee. Joey had a couple of sacks. Tuli was the one opening up the avenue, and then we see against the Raiders. Yeah, Khalil Mack got the sacks, but Tuli was a big reason of they were opening it up. Dan, he has 29 pressures so far this season.
Yeah.
29 pressures. He's he's been something else. Just what have you kind of made of him?
I think 100% when it comes to his production and his on the field play, that's exactly what this team has been waiting for. One of these later round guys, you don't need him to go out there and be damn Superman or Iron Man or Captain America or whatever. You just need him to be productive, be consistent. And I think that's what you've seen in Tuli. And it's like, that's why now, you're seeing a lot more pressure because it's not only Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa you have to worry about. Now you need to worry about the extra third guy. And that's going to make it a lot harder because it's not like you can dedicate 6 players to double team each guy. You know what I'm saying? So at least one of those guys will probably get a one-on-one matchup. And that just improves your odds completely because, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa to begin with are, some of the best pass rushers in the league, if not one of the best. Then add Tuli, who's productive, who's getting after it, who's been making plays. Like that's going to be a hard. He's a dog. He's a dog. But that's just going to be tough to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, again, it's not like you're going to dedicate 6 people to double team each person. So that's 100% super crucial to this defense, starting to separate itself and becoming more elite, right? And I think the other thing you touched on, which is what do you think it means having or being in the same room as like Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa and stuff like that? I think it's very similar to when these quarterbacks get drafted and they sit a few years, like Aaron Rodgers behind Brett Favre for the few years that he was or whatever.
Not my job to train him.
What? Oh, is that what Brett Favre said?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But again, even in that certain situation, there's no way he doesn't learn a lot from, a Hall of Famer, Super Bowl winning quarterback and everything else. He had to have learned certain things, even if the relationship was tense. I mean, Steve Young.
Well, the thing is, these guys are more inviting too. Like Joey and
it's different because they can all get on the field. That's the only difference.
Like Tuli, Tuli and
or you know what?
Yeah,
you know what? Take Keenan and Antonio Gates. Play different positions, do very similar things. You learn a lot from those guys, from those vets, and to learn from two of the best, probably potential future Hall of Famers and stuff like that. It means the world because you know what? A lot of young cats, Frau, you understand this. We now they're the I know generation. Apparently they know everything.
Like
when
who?
you see, I'm not even gonna get to it. But when you see half of them, you can tell they don't know diddly squat. So for him to at such a young age, you said 21 or 22 or
Little
whatever.
Daniel likes numbers.
No, he's an idiot. To have the humility to understand that he has not arrived yet, and every day the rent's due that he's on this team, and to learn from Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, that's going to put him ahead. That's going to put him miles ahead of his peers who think the I know generation. That I've already arrived. I got my bag. I'm in the NFL. Da, 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 da. That's going to put him miles ahead of him.
So Brandon Staley today said, hey, yeah, we want to give him his rose, but at the same time, he made some mistakes in that game. He's he easily could. And another thing is too, Tuli's doing a good job against the run as well. Like he's made some good moves, but he's like, he could have had more sacks in that game if he would have done this or done that. And that's the same thing Tuli said. They asked Tuli, oh, how do you feel like your rookie season's going? He's like, I think I fell off for a bit. He's like, now I've kind of gotten myself back in it, but he's like, I think I had a couple of bad games. I think he's talking about probably from the Cowboys game to Monday night. I think he felt like he had some bad stretches, and now he's kind of gotten back on it. And this weekend's going to be tough because, hey, you're facing one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. They may be getting some players back on that side, and then you have to go against Penei Sewell, who we all know Penei Sewell is not just one of the best tackles in the NFL. He's a talker, and he gets into your face. So, but by the way, I asked Tuli about that. I'm like, hey, how much do you know about Penei and did you pick Justin's brain? Because Penei and Justin,
they were teammates.
back in college. Listen to what he had
He
to say.
had the pleasure of being the son of Odin's teammate.
Exactly.
That is an elite privilege.
Well, remember, Penei wanted the Chargers to draft him. He's like, hey, like, I would love to, I asked him about it, and he's like, I'd love to play with Justin Herbert. But listen to what Tuli had to say about that. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. One of the best right tackles. Just what have you seen?
I recognize that voice.
I mean, I think 2020, I didn't have a chance to play against him because he opted out of the season, COVID year, because we played Oregon in the Pac-12 championship. But I was looking for that matchup that year too. So I think I'm looking forward to it for sure. I think he's a great player. I mean, he was an All-Pro last year, so I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
You pick Justin's brain a little bit, knowing that they kind of have history together.
No, I still kind of scared to talk to Justin. I don't know. It's just Jay Herbo. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. It took me a while to talk to Kay and Joey, so I'm just weird.
So you are going to have a friendly little.
And then listen to
respect. So working and we're looking forward to playing this offense for sure. Yeah.
We need to go back to this. You're not talking to Justin. Is that like a respect thing? Like,
respect for sure. I mean, it's respect.
So you just don't want to bother them. Early on.
Yeah, for sure. I was the same with Joey and Kay, but that slowly grew into it. But I say hi to him in the hallway, so that's good.
Sounds like he's at school.
Yeah.
Do you hear someone trying to stir up some WWE storylines over there? I wouldn't appreciate that right there. Don't you start stirring up stuff with the son of Odin? Then you're gonna have to deal with his wise man, dude. Don't you dare.
By the way, Dan,
don't you dare do it.
What have you thought about the slander that your boy's been getting all week? Nick Wrong says he's in the same category as Baker Mayfield.
I don't even know who that guy is.
No, hold on.
I don't even know. Yeah, David Carr, Derek Carr, or whatever else. You showed me the picture. If it's the same one, it's idiotic to me. We had a comment about this last week. The guy's 100% correct. They're like,
okay, he's in the same. He's in the same tier as Josh Dobbs, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, and Caleb Williams.
Garbage list.
But for some reason, CJ Stroud's all the way up top with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, off of one game. That's what these guys do, dude. They have no idea about what goes into it. Why don't you pull up the comment from last week? That guy had a super solid point. Essentially, if I summarize correctly, he's saying in the sense that, like, Justin Herbert just can't win. If he would have thrown 300 yards, 3 TDs, and lost, everyone would have said, oh, well, he can't win big games, and da-da-da-da-da. Now that he, played a clean game, did what he needed to do.
Let me pull it up. By the way, guys, we appreciate you guys' comments. We will get to them. Dan and Daygo's on it. So we will get to them if you comment on here.
So don't be afraid to raid the comment section.
Jonathan Gold 6118 said, people are ridiculous. If Herbert throws a screen and a little shuffle pass on those two Eck TDs, all of a sudden Herbert stats has two touchdowns and 160 yards plus, and his stats don't look so bad to the casuals compared to what Mahomes, Hurts, and Allen did. People just watch box scores and hate no matter what. And if he threw for 3 touchdowns and 300 yards like last week and they lost, people would say he can't win important games. That's
100% on point. Everyone forgets. Everyone's beloved Mahomes, Hurts, and Allen played terrible against us.
8 interceptions combined.
Played terrible. Justin Herbert. But this is, I'm not going to get into it a lot because we got a little bit into it on COMPAS, and I'm not trying to be on here for another hour and a half explaining what's wrong with society.
Are you sure we can get Herberto on?
Take it. Yeah, then we'll go for 2.5 hours. But this is exactly what's wrong, okay? Since when is playing smart, clean football such a negative? You don't like – I talk trash about the Chiefs all the time. I thought, they try and prop up Mahomes to be – the second coming of freaking Joe Montana and everybody else. He threw for 183 and I think 2 tuds last week or 1. Not sexy, but he did what he needed to do to win the game and everything else. respect, fine, whatever, on top of having a good defense. But now Herbo does something similar where he plays smart and he had no turnovers. And all of a sudden you're putting him with bums on some stupid list. I'm seriously convinced what these people are trying to do. And I think, to be honest, it's sad. And this is where we're getting to. Like we've said multiple times on this show, on COMPAS, whatever, you can hate my takes. You can hate them. But let me tell you something. My takes are for real. They're not for clicks. They're not for clicks. I'm not trying to make a name for myself writing or hating off of people's name. All my Mahomes takes, those are my takes. It's not for clicks. I'll tell you that. You can ask anyone who knows me. It's the damn truth. And I think that's what these people are trying to do. They're trying to make a name for themselves. They're trying to get on social media. They're trying to get their followers up. They're trying to get the fights in the comments because more people are in there watching.
If Herbert's in San Francisco, what happens right now?
Undefeated. Put him in Miami. Undefeated.
Kansas City.
Put him in freaking Philadelphia. Super Bowl champions, undefeated, going to repeat. I'm convinced. I know it's true.
By the way, I know you said that. I have to bring something for you. If not, what kind of a brother would I be?
Oh, it better not piss me off. I already do that for free.
Yeah. Reigns, stick his hand up your ass and pull your heart out through that hole. That is what my tribal chief is going to do to something like you.
That's big facts. That's what my tribal chief does to this league.
But that's
I said it last year. He put up top 3 numbers, cracked ribs, and minus his 2 all-pro receivers. Get out of here. You guys, all these takes about Herbo, garbage from garbage human beings trying to get clicks. Stop. I feel like damn Will Smith now. I'm about to go slap the shit out of somebody and say, keep my quarterback's name out your motherfucking mouth. It drives me insane, dude. That's why I stay off of all the sports social media section and all that stuff with all these jokers. They're all clowns, dude. They have no idea what they're talking about. Especially those idiots on that Fox show. I forgot which one it's called now, but stupid. That's what he needs to do.
If you see Paul Heyman behind, he's just looking at Roman with eyes of love. That is Dan and Daygo and Justin.
I feel like right now I'm just gonna start crying. That's my quarterback, man. That's my quarterback.
Before we go though,
shout out to T.O.
Your quarterback did speak today, and he was asked, how would you evaluate the offense a couple of weeks in?
Don't you slander my boy.
With expectations for this offense and everything, where do you feel like it is? Any disappointment, or where do you feel like the state of the offense is?
Yeah, I think we're exactly where we are. And, we've got a lot of football left, and we've got a lot of guys that we believe in. And, we're looking forward to the challenge and the opportunity of playing football and understanding that, we could have done a lot of things better, but there are a lot of good things that we did offensively this year. And so we're going to build on that, do everything we can to correct the errors and mistakes, and to keep moving forward.
He's a company man, dude. I respect it. Company man. I respect it. I love the son of Odin, Frau. Inject it into my veins.
But people love to hate on him.
No, they're idiots. They have no idea what they're talking about. They think freaking Mahomes and half of these idiots, they think Lamar Jackson's going to win the Super Bowl, Frau, and half of these guys. They think Tua's the MVP, just like your boy. Just like your boy over there. Yeah, it drives me insane. Don't you slander my boy. That's the one thing. You talk about Ronaldo and you talk about the son of Odin, I'm going to have a problem. Don't you dare talk about either two. Don't talk about the GOAT. Don't talk about the young GOAT, Frau.
And don't talk about little Daniel.
No, you can talk about him. I don't care. Oh, hell, I'll join in. There he is.
Undisputed heavyweight champion, not just all of WWE, but all of sports entertainment, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, the head of the table, Roman.
Justin, does he have a middle name?
I think he.
Isn't it Patrick? Yeah. JPH? No, I don't like that.
Yeah, Patrick.
Justin Patrick Herbert, young goat. We'll even get his mother's maiden name in there if we want. Add another name like he's Hispanic. Shout out.
Pro Bowl defender, not convinced by Justin Herbert as elite.
Oh, who's that Pro Bowl defender?
Former
Tell me.
NFL
Anonymous.
All-Pro.
Anonymous. Yeah. Jackass. That's what I would say about that. Put your name on it. Don't be a jackass and stay anonymous.
Oh, it's just Gerald McCoy.
Yeah, who cares? I don't care. I don't care who that is, what he's trying to stop slandering my boy. Stop it.
All right, Dan, let's move on now. Fantasy player to watch.
We didn't even talk about the offense. That's all right. We'll move on then.
Yeah, we did at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, we did a little bit, I guess. Yeah.
This game to me is all about the defense, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I think this game is about what the defense is going to be able to. Are you legit or are you not? Like, are you really this team that can sack the quarterback numerous times, disrupt, pop the ball up, get interceptions?
In my mind,
team that's going to get torched by, like you did against the Miami Dolphins and against all these other guys. Because, like we said, there's no excuses now. Like J.C. Jackson's gone. Well, he ain't even having that good of a time over back in New England.
Yeah,
you heard about that, right?
Yeah, I saw that. He missed the team. He got to
the
team so late.
He missed. Yeah, last weekend he missed. He was late to a team meeting.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
And and then obviously they didn't take him to Germany. They said, "Look, get yourself right, come back ready next week." But there's no excuses now, Dan. I mean, it's literally you have to go out there and do what you you're gonna have to go out there and prove yourself as a defense. The offense, I think the Aiden Hutchinson's gonna. I'm still not completely sold on the kid, but I think he's decent. Like I think he's a good pass rusher.
Yeah.
I think this defense is a lot better than what people. I think the defense is good, but like I said, they just haven't played anybody and they've had some losses in their defense. Some players are injured, but I'm still not 100% convinced by their defense because, like I said, the schedule that they face so far, I'm kind of iffy about it. But I think this is all about the Chargers' defense and the offense. I think it's still the same thing. They're struggling to run the football. I think besides they need to find other weapons. Offensive line has been atrocious in my opinion. I don't think they're good at all. And then you look. Well, no, I don't mean atrocious. They just haven't been good. Like they haven't been consistent. They're missing Corey Linsley, obviously, but that you can't beat that drum anymore because he's already been out for a few weeks. Yeah. So and then you look at everything else and you're just like, I don't know. Like they're giving up a lot of pressures. He's taking a lot of hits. That's exactly what I was going to tell you. The only thing I can think about is maybe quick passes. Try and get the ball out quick so he's not taking as many hits. The big shots to me, I mean, like right now, unless you really have a good play dialed up that could get him the time that he needs to sit back there and try and go down the field or make a big throw. If you can't, then I would just go. I would just try and go quick. I think a hurry up offense would help them out a lot, especially if you tire out the Detroit Lions. But yeah, I just think that the Chargers offense is a little bit. It is worrisome, especially because Herbert's down Mike Williams, Josh Palmer. He has a knee sprain, and Brandon said Brandon didn't want to give a timetable. They don't know if he's going to be out longer than the 4 weeks or what that's going to be. That's why on COMPAS I said I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I just don't unless him and Quentin Johnston just turn it on and they start really moving the ball along, then I'll believe it. But I don't think this team can do it. I mean, if they win on Sunday, I'd be like, whoa, okay, that's a good quality win right there.
So says, here we go.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but yeah, it one week at a time, one game at a time. But I want to see what they're made of. But the offense is, in my opinion, it's a great concern.
Yeah. Fantasy player, I will go with I guess it's gonna be a cop out or an easy one. I'll go with amon-ra St. Brown. I just think you give him 10 yards, the guy's gonna be able to get open, especially on quick timing. That's all Jared Goff needs. Get into a rhythm and everything else. So I'm gonna go with amon-ra St. Brown.
Dan, guess what? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Don't care. Don't you?
Duchess of
You know. I just started a FIFA career with a
Are
team
in-
from Scotland.
are in San
Scotland
Diego.
forever.
They're in San Diego tonight.
Alba Cobra. No, thank you.
I'm gonna go with Sam Laporta. I think Sam Laporta, that tight end, I think he's really good. I'm very surprised the Chargers did not draft a tight end in the draft. I told you, I think Gerald Everett.
You were talking about Mayer the whole time. Is it Brett Mayer?
Yeah, no, Michael Mayer.
That's what it was. Yeah,
Michael Mayer, I think, has been misused with the Raiders. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think Herbert would remember. Herbert was good with Hunter Henry. They had a good
before he
connection.
went hurt. Yeah,
I think Michael Mayer is kind of built of the same thing, but I was just so surprised they didn't go with the tight end. Why? Because I think Gerald Everett and then another tight end, like if they could make a 1-2. I told you, even after this season, Gerald Everett's a free agent. I would try and bring him back, but I would still go out and get a tight end.
Obviously,
and make that your 1-2 combo. I'm not saying that they could be like the Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski combo.
Whoa.
But I'm saying like at
Voldemort.
At least try and like give this guy more. That's what I've been banging on and I remember at first Gilbert would laugh at me because I'd say, get this kid more weapons, get Justin Herbert. If you have 5 receivers that are fist fighting each other for time and play, and they're all that good that they all deserve equal go at it,
the ball,
that is amazing. Like right now, I know I'm bringing soccer into it, but look, and I know this is completely different, but like look at Real Madrid. They have so many midfielders that each of them are trying to fight to get back on the pitch.
Yeah,
well, hell, like that's a good problem to have, but I mean, we'll see what happens moving forward with the weapons. But I think Sam Laporta is a good tight end. Who's your X factor, Dan?
I think 100%. It's going to be Trey Pipkins. I think Hutchinson. I really think he's going to go up against Slater. I think he's going to try and go after Sawyer and Trey Pipkins. I think watching the tape from last week, he should be excited because they had a tough time with movement in general in that pass rush. And that's how they were getting back on Herbert, getting hits on him, getting pressures and everything else. So 100%, I think Trey Pipkins is going to be the X factor. If he's able to step up and lock down Aiden Hutchinson, I think it's going to be a long day for that Lions defense.
Younghoe Koo has outscored 8 different NFL quarterbacks so far this season.
I don't even understand what that means. So
he scored more points than 8 starting quarterbacks.
Oh, kickers, yay!
I can't choose one. I'm gonna go Asante Samuel Jr. and Michael Davis.
There you go.
They're gonna decide this game. Yeah. I mean, it's just plain and simple. Like they're both. I think those guys are gonna decide this game. Prediction, Dan?
I think I'm gonna take MCDC on the road. I don't like what I saw Monday night, especially offensively. Like, I think 100% if I'm this defensive coordinator, I'm going man-to-man, putting 2 over Keenan, and I'm sending about 5 to 6 guys almost every play. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to collapse this pocket, make him so uncomfortable, make him second-guess himself, make him freaking hesitate and start seeing ghosts to try and force him into some mistakes. So I think the Lions are going to take it. And then on the flip side, I just think I think it's a lot different than Zach Wilson for sure, and the other quarterback they faced, Tyler Badgett or whatever from the Bears. Tyson. Okay, thank you. I think Jared Goff has a little more pocket awareness, so I don't think he's just slow as hell. That's his problem, but I think he has a little more pocket awareness, so I think it's going to be tough.
I'm going to go with the Lions as well. I say that Detroit comes in, and I think it'll be a close game, but I just think that Detroit's going to have more they have way too much firepower on that offense, and the Chargers offense just really, to me, is not
because you know what this game kind of feels like or reminds me? It reminds me a little bit of the Jags last year for whatever reason. Like, if they can run the football against these guys and keep drives alive and control the clock, they're going to tire out this defense come second half. They're going to be, bent out of shape. Who knows how they're going to look? You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
I think that's 100% the goal. Keep Herbert off the field.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I'll say that the Lions win 31-24.
Look at that.
I'll say
Getting up there.
31-24. I'll
So
say
a
that.
tud, a tud's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the difference. But we appreciate you guys so much for checking out another episode of What's Up Bolts. Again, thank you guys so much for the comments. If you guys have any questions or anything, Dan and I will answer it on Sunday after the game. But obviously Dan's always on top of those questions, or those comments. So please make sure that you guys share. Again, thank you guys so much for always rocking with us. Thank you guys for listening to us. Thanks for putting up with our WWE and all these
just
other,
getting all over the place. Yeah.
all these other things, but we always get to the point.
Exactly,
But again,
eventually.
we appreciate you guys so much. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see how this game ends. But don't forget, as soon as the game is over, Dan and I will post our episode. Well, not as soon as the game's over, but once I come back from the locker room and everything, I'll be doing the post game reaction from the stadium. But we will post it right away, so make sure you guys are on the lookout. Don't forget to subscribe and even hit the bell so that you get notified when an episode drops. Dan and I are always on it. We're always dropping episodes, so make sure you guys are on the lookout for that. But again, thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your week. And again, thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to be a compa, tell a compa. Thank you guys so much.